Okay, so I struggled with where to put myself because there is no good place to put myself because this is such a beautiful poster for this documentary. And I wanted to make sure that you could see her face. So I put myself off to the side here. But I just finished this documentary. This is a beautiful documentary, very well made by a black woman named Lakeria. Wait, hold on. Let me look up the name. Lageria Davis. Um, and so it went into the historical aspect of when the first Black Barbie doll was introduced, which was in 1980. Um, and kind of her aunt, the woman who directed this, her aunt worked at Mattel for over 40 years and was working on, the assembly line and everything. And she was talking about how the woman, hold on, I should have written down these names before I started this video. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so she was talking about how Ruth Handler, who is former president of Mattel, would ask Miss Beulah, that's her name, um, and other women, some other black women that worked on the assembly line, what they thought about dolls, what they wanted to see, and they said that they wanted a black Barbie. So literally, if these women did not exist, we would never have a black Barbie. So this documentary was incredibly informative. It was incredibly heartwarming, and it made me think so much about my childhood as a young black girl. And um, so, as I said, the first black Barbie, let me switch to her photo as I'm talking about this. So, this is the first black Barbie that came out in 1980 that was designed by the incredible Kitty Black Perkins. You will find out all about her in the documentary as well. I cannot recommend this documentary highly enough. So please watch it when you get a chance. But so as I said, this doll came out in 1980. I was born in 1982. I do not recall as a child seeing this doll. I do recall seeing and receiving and playing with black Barbies. They did not look like this. All of the black Barbies that I can remember had long straight hair, like Malibu Barbie. They had in the documentary they talk about with this doll that specifically Miss Kitty worked with the sculptor, and that her nose is a little bit wider and her lips are a little bit fuller. I don't remember that from my black Barbies that I played with. I remember she had the exact same face as Malibu Barbie. It's just her skin was darker. Those are the Barbies that I remember growing up. Um, I would look and see if I could find a picture of one of those Barbies, but I only have so much time, so I'm not going to do that. But you can imagine it in your mind. So I'll also tell you a story about when I was young. So I have a white aunt. She's married into the family, so don't get any ideas. But she gave me a white Barbie when I was young. And I took that Barbie and I put that Barbie, no lie, I put that Barbie in the microwave because I was trying to tan her skin so she would look like me. Never got a white Barbie again. That was the end of the white Barbies. From then on, I got black Barbies. So, yeah. So when they were talking about, all of these incremental steps and changes that they did to design to create this Barbie, it was just so incredibly fascinating to me. And I think when you're talking about dolls, representation is important. We talk about that all the time. But I don't think people realize the impact of a lack of representation. And this is discussed in the documentary as well. So, okay, you have this black Barbie. And Miss Kitty talks about in the documentary that this was the particular skin tone that she chose. It was just her preference, is what she chose. I would say, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but that this is, a brown skinned Barbie. And I think that most likely she probably chose this so that it would be in the middle as opposed to choosing, you don't want the first Black Barbie to be light skinned because that's not representative. And then maybe she felt like if she chose like a very dark skin tone for the first Black Barbie, that wouldn't feel representative. So I think she picked a skin tone that she felt like was in the middle so that all young Black girls could identify with it in some way. She doesn't say that in the film, but that's just what my interpretation of it is from watching it. And so I can remember growing up, like I said, the Black Barbies I can recall, they did not look like this. When I can remember growing up, I don't remember any dolls, not just Barbies, but any dolls at all that had natural hair. I don't remember that. I do not remember any dolls when I was growing up that were plus size. Okay? All the dolls were thin. And so when we're talking about representation, you got to talk about representation in all different areas. All the dolls, the Barbies were able-bodied. Now you have Barbies that are wheelchair users. So we didn't have that. So you got to talk about representation all across the board. And just in the 41 years that I've been alive, dolls have changed so much. And so I just Googled Black Barbie because I just wanted to see what the dolls are that are out now. So I'm going to show you all that in a second. But as of the time that this documentary was shot, there were no Black designers working on Barbie. So Mattel saw the film before we saw it. And so at the end, there are, some updates from Mattel. And basically what they said is that they have programs where they work with Black students at a school of design. And I believe they said that they have hired 4 new Black employees. So I don't know if currently there is a Black designer that is working on Black Barbies, but I really hope that there is. Because I really feel like if you're going to make a Black doll, I want a Black person making it. That's just me. And, they do have, of course, a head of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm trying to think what other updates did they give at the end? They are working on another commemorative doll where there is a white man that worked on the last commemorative Black Barbie, but he is working with Miss Kitty on a collector's item Barbie that is going to be released next year. So I'm very happy to hear that. And just to see these Black women like Miss Beulah, Miss Kitty that are mentioned in the film and how important they were and what an inspiration they were to other Black women, that was just so incredible and so inspiring to see, because I think a lot of people feel you need to be able to see yourself in a certain position to know that you can have that position. I don't necessarily feel that way. I think you can desire to have that position without seeing somebody that looks like you do it, but I know that for a lot of people, that is the case. So I'm running out of time now, so I just want to show you these photos of these when I Googled Black Barbie, these Barbies that came up. So this is a Barbie with a fuller shape, a darker skin tone. Definitely there were no shapely Barbies dolls when I was a little girl. This Barbie, she's absolutely beautiful. Afro, no Afro Barbies that I can remember growing up. And I'm just so happy for Black little girls that they have all this. Barbie with braids. No Barbies with braids when I was growing up. Not a lot of, I can't remember any dolls with braids when I was growing up. And also, I just very quickly want to say, Issa Rae played, the Barbie president in the Barbie movie. Look at Issa Rae's face. Like, she literally looks like the Black Barbie come to life. So I just wanted to point out what an incredible casting choice that was, because she really does look like a Black Barbie. Shout out to Issa. And I will just end with this. So this is a Black Ken. They're damn sure we're not any Black Kens when I was growing up. And, he's got, are those braids? I don't know if those are, I don't think they're supposed to be locks. I think they're braids. But yeah, there damn sure was not this when I was growing up. But watch the documentary. It's amazing. See you on the next.